explain about Python course. What is Python? Why Python? Where we use Python? Features of Python. First, let me talk about what is Python. So Python is a simple scripting language, which is a programming language. The Python is general purpose programming language. The Python is interpreted programming language. What is mean by interpreted? Interpreter means it scans the old program and it checks line by line. If there is any error in the line, it checks error. Once you rectify the error at that particular line, then only the cursor moves to the next line for execution, which is interpreter. Now coming to the interactive, Python is an interactive based programming language. What do you mean by interactive? Python scripts basically interacted with the interpreter directly because it is only the small script we are writing. That scripts directly interacted with the interpreter. Now another important feature in Python, because other programming languages like C, Java, C++, other programming languages which are static based programming language, meaning supposed to use any variable, before we going to use that variable in the program, we are supposed to declare it. That means type of the variable has to be declared before going to use it in the program, whereas in the Python need not to declare the variable before going to use it. So declaration of variable will not be specified at the time of compilation. The value which is assigned to that variable, the value based upon the value which has been assigned to the particular variable, the type of the variable would be decided by the interpreter at the time of runtime, which is dynamic type. Now the another feature is object oriented feature. So Python is object oriented program because everything is object based. When you are initializing the value to the particular variable, so that value which is storing in a particular object, because object stores the address, in that address it's storing the value. So it is following all object oriented principles like abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance and other polymorphism, which is object oriented. Now high level programming language. What do you mean by high level programming language? High level programming language means here all the statements are written in a highly specified manner, because it is a simple English language we are writing the program, which is high level, right? These are the features of these are general Python. Now so this Python was invented by the person name is here Guido van Rossum during 1985, in this duration 1985 to 1990. So he invented the Python. Now why Python? As I have explained what is Python. So the Python is general purpose high level programming language, which is interpreted based programming language, and a dynamic type, which I have explained it. The why Python? The Python is simple to use because in other programming languages we have a specific program structure. It follows this structure. For example, in Java, supposed to write any program in Java, we have to define class. Inside the class we have to write a main method that has a specific structure. Here it is simple, it is English based, easy to learn, read the code and easy to write the code, easy way to understand, which is simple. Now which is free and open source. Python is an example of a free and open source software, which means one can freely distribute copies of software and read its source code and can modify it. Here it is open, need not to pay anything for when we are using the software. The copies we can distribute among the various people, which is open source. Now, high level language, one does not need not to bother about the high level details like memory application. Here, this is my Python code: a is equal to 3, b is equal to 5. This is summation. Directly it is compiled by the interpreter, and it is unique code here. This is a byte code, which that code can be run on any operating system, which is high level. A is equal to 3, b is equal to 5. This is high level. These statements are directly compiled by the interpreter, and it translating into byte code. With that byte code, we can run that byte code in any operating system, which is that's why which has a feature called here portable, supported by many platforms like Linux operating system, Windows, Free to any operating system it supports, because which has a uh, virtual virtual machine. That machine is generating the byte code. That byte code can be run on any operating system. Now here, so it supports different programming paradigm. What do you mean by different programming paradigm? Here Python is, as I said, Python is object oriented. Still it supports structure oriented programming as well as procedure oriented programming. So that's why it is supporting different programming paradigm. Now extensible, Python code can invoke your C++ libraries. It can be called from any programming language also, and we can easily integrate the code which we have written in C++ and Java. So it can integrated with Java and other components like .NET .NET components also. We can easily integrate all these program into Python. So that is what extensible. Okay, so these are, and one more important thing here. So the Python is great backend for web development also. We have a feature web development for developing any kind of API applications, so clients or applications also. This is also meant for which has a huge libraries. So that libraries we can use it for exploring the data, which is data analysis. Now artificial intelligence also we are using Python. So in the scientific computing area also we are using the Python. So many developers have also used the Python for various purposes like product build productivity tools and games and desktop applications. In various areas we are using this Python. Now who uses the Python? The YouTube, they use the Python. So in Google, they're using the Python. Google makes extensive use of Python in its web searching the data. Okay, for searching any data from a Google search engine, they're using this Python only. In Dropbox, they're using Python. Raspberry Pi, this is single board computer, promotes Python as a its educational language. And BitTorrent peer-to-peer file sharing system begin its life with the Python only. NASA uses Python for specific programming task. So, and NASA uses Python for cryptography and as well as intelligence analysis. Also, they are using Python. Netflix also they are using Python. So these are the people they are using Python, because the Python is the most trending and upcoming programming language. So here is also used for scrapping the data from various websites and web sources also. That is called web scraping. Scrap the data, bringing that data into your required form, which is data mining. Okay, you are writing the Python scripts for scrapping the data from web. And also we are using this Python for testing purpose. So and development, web development, we have a various frameworks in Python which are all Python based only. When we take for example Django is a Python framework which is completely MVC pattern based framework. So using that we can develop web application also. The Flask also has this feature. And data analysis using Python. right? So now when it comes to the features of Python, as I already explained, Python is interpreted an high level language. Uh, it automatically collects the garbage here when the object is no longer used in the program, so that the object will be removed from the memory, because which is not using, so no longer in the application. So automatically, so the garbage collector is doing that. So easy to maintain the code, because which is simple in case of structure. It is scripting based language, so it is portable and scalable, so objective oriented, and using this we can develop graphical user interface applications also. That's why we are saying it is a general purpose programming language, so which has a huge standard libraries, broad standard libraries for various purpose, for scientific computing, data analysis, and artificial intelligence. In most of the areas you are using the Python, because which has a huge broad standard libraries. It supports all commercial databases like Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server, and various databases it supported, and it is interactive, and also it is extendable, which I explained you. So it is beginners language. It is integrated with the various programming languages like C, C++, and Java. So these are the features of Python. So right, so with in this lecture I have explained you, so what is Python, why Python, where we use Python, who uses Python, and features of Python. So thank you very much. Thank you.